Okay, folks, we're now back for well, really what must be about game 18 or 19 or something like that of this sort of massive triple clan war that we've had between MYM and We Made Fox. And as I said, all We Made Fox needs to do it to win this clan wars, or win WC3L for that matter, is just win this one game, whereas MYM needs to win this game and then win a subsequent 1 versus 1 as well. So really the pressure's on MYM, but they have really proven themselves during these 2 versus 2s. They are now 5-0 up against We Made Fox over these last couple of games, and that's just really just been so impressive, because obviously We Made Fox don't have a terrible 2 versus 2. In fact, many people think they have one of the best. I'd say they were certainly up there, and it's just been so impressive by MYM. They've just really played. They've known exactly what We Made Fox's strategies have been, and even when Moon Soccer tried to switch it up by going double elf occasionally, there was just no chance for them. There was really only one game where they were sort of winning, but then they actually ruined it with a bad TP, which is a bit of a shame. But still, this has been really impressive play, and we are now seeing a mirror again. Obviously, they're not going to be switching things up, and you can't switch out a player in the middle like this, so we couldn't now move to Moon and Soccer. But that's probably for the best. I think I like seeing Moon and Lin play. I do enjoy seeing Soccer play as well, but certainly Lin is Lin, and if you're gonna have an Elf-Orc team, you definitely want to have Lin on your team, I think. And we are now seeing the first divergence in strategy for a while, which is that Remind is going for an early Ancient of War. I imagine we'll see a Hunter's Hall eventually, but it is going to mean that he can creep out this camp. He'll bring in his Demon Hunter as soon as it's out, and whereas Moon, I think, has gone for the faster Huntresses and no creeping, perhaps with some harassment instead. And so we'll have to see if either of those have particular advantages or disadvantages over the course of this game. And Lucifron going for a very close base at this point, actually, putting his food land right actually near the back, which is a bit surprising. And he will probably be going for some creeping. No, he's actually going for harassing. And it looks like he's going to meet Moon in the middle, and it looks like he's going to meet Lin in the middle as well. So a bit of a bad start for Lucifron. He'll probably use Windwalk to try and get out of there. Yeah, he doesn't, and he does use that, and that means he won't be mana burnt immediately. He might go for a couple hits though, and he will actually be hit by the excuse me, by Lin's Blade Master if he does go for those hits. And it looks like Moon has scouted out this creeping now, and it's a bit too late, but they can come put in a bit of pressure now, and Remind now more than halfway to level 2, but still it's taken a lot of damage on this Ancient of War. We'll need to heal it up. This Hunter's Hall is not yet finished as well, because he went for that really early Ancient of War so that he could get it crapped out really quickly. But Moon is actually taking a lot of damage on his Demon Hunter. Remind's taking a bit less on his, and Moon will be forced to run out of here, actually using a healing salve, which is very nice. Obviously the advantages of going dual race are sort of paying off here, and Moon really adapting to that well. And still no experience though for We Made Fox, and I think that isn't going to be too big a problem, but they will want to obviously do some creeping before they get to tier 2, and they will want to get a couple items as well, and Remind getting a bit of a detonation off there. Remind playing really impressively in these clan wars, actually. I sort of have to sort of give special mention to him, because Lucifron I'm not a big fan of, and I don't think he's a brilliant player. He's certainly not on Remind's level, and just the fact that he's played so well, he's really kept MYM in these clan wars, and he's just sort of been playing so fantastically these games. And Lucifron now picking up these boots, and actually getting a dust off on Lin as well. Lin being forced to run out of there, doesn't have enough mana to be worth it, mana burning, but it looks like he will still get hit a couple more times by this 100 and maybe a couple grunts as well. We'll have to see, but Lin bringing in his own grunts now as well, and so we might see a bit of a skirmish if the Demon Hunter can come back in, although I don't know what's happened to Moon's Demon Hunter. Actually he's gone shopping in the other side. He's bought his own boots, but still at 0 experience. He's probably do some creeping, because when he picks up, when we get the second heroes, especially the Shadow Hunter, you really want to be able to creep it out on its own. And Moon actually pinging this thing. One of the nice features of this is that you can actually see where the players are pinging, and so you can see sort of a bit of their communications to each other. And so I think Moon might want to creep out that expansion, maybe going for an expansion, although that would be very risky. I talked about it last game, the timing of the expansion. I don't think this is the time to expand, but I'm not sure. Moon obviously hasn't uprooted his Ancient of War and watched it there or anything, so it would just be tanking on his Demon Hunter, maybe tanking on the Blade Master as well, but this would give them at least some experience. And you can see this is actually a pretty significant camp. This is a Goldshire, obviously the map. And Moon actually having a sneaky wisp here, just using it for scouting. You can be pretty sure that he doesn't need it, but still better safe than sorry. And even if he does lose it, which it's pretty unlikely to, it's only one wisp. I mean, it's not a big deal. And Moon now creeping out this camp, actually using Lin's grunts, but without the Blade Master. Blade Master meanwhile is going out to scout and maybe do some harassment, hoping to find some creeping there, but not actually finding it, and still 0 experience on that Blade Master. And so I think this is going to get Moon level 2, which is maybe why they split up, because it's better to have a 2-1 as opposed to 1.5, 1.5. And we are now hitting tier 2 for all the players. 2 lores going up, a Shadow Hunter going up, and we probably see a Bestiary Spirit Lodge any second. 2 lores going up, I assume. Lore, yep. And so we are seeing pretty standard text from all the players, perhaps unfortunately, but it does mean that we do get sort of the very high level of micro as opposed to the high level of innovation, and I think they both have their advantages. But certainly I think at this stage I don't blame either side for not wanting to innovate, and I love this creep cap. This is a camp I love creeping because it gives an amazing item. I love things like the Wand of Illusion, Sentry Wards, things like that are just such good items, and it's really not that hard a camp to creep, and I think sort of these items are really good early game, and so it might be in Orion's interest to try and use them now. But he is actually getting a bit cut out. There's Naga, actually Speech Goal being used now, and it looks like they're going for surround. The Demon Hunter in a bit of trouble, but not getting surrounded. But this Naga is getting surrounded, and no Staff of Teleport, no Staff of Preservation means that Naga does go down. So another early hero kill for Remade Fox. They got one last time, but it really didn't go too well for them in the end, partially because of that Scroll of Restoration, which is an amazing item, but also I think some excellent teamwork from MYM in the end. And Lucifron actually getting pretty close to level 3 on his Blade Master. That's really impressive, because level 3 against, I think, still level 1 on that? Yeah, still level 1 on that Blade Master. It's really very outclassing Lin at this point, which is surprising, but looks like Moon's going to be creeping out this camp, and Moon actually pinged this camp here, which is a pretty hard camp to creep, but I guess they have it in them because Lin does have 4 grunts, and grunts are pretty good at creeping this type of camp, and actually Hex being used as well on that High Priest, just so that it can take it out of the picture and get rid of the healing and the inner fire as well. And looks like this Blade Master will hit level 2, but meanwhile this creeping has been scouted out by this one fake fake Demon Hunter of Remind, and I'm not sure. Moon surely won't be creeping this camp. He must know that there's a possibility of a creep jack here, and that's exactly what's coming in now. And Moon really needs to get back to Lin if he wants to stay and fight here. But Lin just finishing off this creeping now. He hasn't hit level 2 on his Shadow Hunter yet, so he could be in a bit of trouble. Moon's Naga at very low hit points. The Scroll of the Beast being used now, which will help we made Fox a fair bit, and the Shadow Hunter being chased down, a Speech Goal being used by Lin, and with the Blade Master being hacked, so it will give Lin a bit of Lucifron a bit of time just to get away. And meanwhile Lin's Naga has been hexed and does go down, and Moon is TPing out of here, and I think Lin will need to do the same thing. Actually Lin doesn't have a TP, so Lin will need to run out of here. Hopefully a hex being used there on one Raider, and actually Moon losing a Dryad as well, so some pretty nice play there by MYM, getting a good creep jack there and then making the most of it as well. A bit unfortunate for Lin that he had sold his TP. Maybe he was just figuring that they would be playing so strongly, and there'd be so little divergence between the teams that it was unlikely that he'd ever be forced to TP out of a battle or something. I'm not sure what his plan was, because they were playing pretty close together, which means that TPs are less likely to be needed, but still, it's a bit of an odd decision from Lin. Did mean he lost a couple of units, and another fight going off here, and Moon bringing in his Ancient of War here, and obviously that is going to do a lot of damage to those Raiders, and is going to force MYM to TP out. So a bit of a TP trade here. In fact, the only person who hasn't lost a TP now is Lin, which is quite nice for him. And Moon still has been playing the standard strategy of just massing Dryads, no upgrades yet, but I think we'll probably see them fairly soon. And he does have a couple hundreds just left over, but I think we will be seeing them just sort of left to die. Perhaps suicide into creeps are more likely, perhaps just used as fodder. They're pretty good at Spirit Link as well, actually, and you can just right click them on some Raiders and just hope that they do something. And Lin will now be trying to creep out to level 2. I think we should move back his Demon Hunter and this Naga, because actually I think he might. Ooh, he'll be very close. No, he doesn't quite get level 2 on a Shadow Hunter. That's a bit of a shame, bit of bad teamwork there. But maybe they're going to go creep out this other camp, which will definitely get them level 2. Yeah, they will creep out this camp here, and it's a really odd assortment of creeps here. I think I'm not sure why, it just doesn't look quite right to me. And dust being used there, but no Blaymaster around, and Helm of Valor being picked up. Not the greatest of items, but strength and agility decent for that Blaymaster. But again, in 2 versus 2s, you really want aura items because they're sort of twice as effective. And we are now seeing this actually a weird position for this War Mill. Maybe because actually Lynn could have easily built it there. I'm not sure why he didn't. But we are now seeing this Coda now coming out, and Lynn does have this one Spirit Walker, and actually these, as I said, these 100 is actually being used for scouting now, which is a bit of an interesting decision considering it's daytime, and they do just go down pretty quickly, and they do give a pretty nice amount of experience. But it looks like we are going to be seeing a bit of a fight here. MYM certainly lining up their units, trying to get those Dryads to get some hits in just on all the units, but Lynn immediately TPing away, and Moon doing the exact same thing. Clearly this isn't a fight they should be taking. They're pretty far down in terms of food, you can see, and so that's a very lucky that they did manage to TP out of there with very minimal losses. And you know, Mind bringing in a lot of Wisp. I'm not sure if is he going to go for an expansion or something. Moon and Lynn did creep out this camp, and it would be pretty nice to take that expansion now, but I can't imagine that's what they're thinking that would be a good strategy at this point, because otherwise they'll just get steamrolled by We Made Fox, surely, during the time where their expansion's still just costing them a lot of money. And actually, Lynn sort of has a fair few units now. He had a lot around his base, which he hadn't brought in just because they would have been picked off one by one as they tried to run in. And so we could see